Yeah. Roll.
Right. Camera rolling.
3, 2, 1. It's your take.
For 2 decades plus, he's been a man dedicated to restructuring sports at one of Ghana's premier institutions, the University of Ghana. One man whose life story has been full of books. When I was made to understand that his CV alone is about 17 to 18 pages, I said this is a CV that many people would actually struggle to read. But it says a lot about what he's been able to do for himself and his contribution generally to sports, not just in Ghana, but beyond the shores of the country. This man we are speaking to here on Prime Take is Dr. Bella Bello Bitugu, who is the Director of Sports at the University of Ghana. Doc, thank you very much for your time. I hope I got your name right.
Yes, you got it. My name seems to be a very sensitive issue. The position, yeah.
The positioning. Dr. Bella Bello Bitugu, right?
I've taken all the B's. That's why you have no B in your name.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. But I have A.
No problem.
If you don't do A, you will not do B.
Oh, the B sounds better. The A can be A, yeah, but the B has only one.
How we are good though?
Yes, we are good.
Thanks.
We are content.
Yeah, thanks for having us in your office today.
Yeah,
we appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Doc, generally, we've read a lot about you, but one of the things that many people actually do not have an idea about you is how you got here.
How I got here?
Yes.
I flew, walked, and then I did my first degree in 1991, and then I was at the university for my national service as a teaching assistant. And just after the service, I actually got the opportunity to further my studies, which I always wanted to do. Among a few other choices, I took Austria, and it's something I've not regretted. So I was in Austria since 1992. But of course, as a German-speaking country, I had to do the German language. German proficiency language, yeah. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Sprechen Sie auch? No. Yeah, so I speak German. I studied in German.
Okay.
But I actually, beyond that, I also taught the German language. So I'm quite okay in the language, yes.
I see.
So I did my proficiency language, then qualified to start the real program. Well, long story short, I did my master's, then PhD, and at some point I was fed up with Europe. Given all the things that were there, I said I wanted to come back home. I just felt like I needed to come home. And the body was in Europe, but the soul was home in Ghana. And I nurtured this desire, this urge, until 2012. I think for about 5, 6, 7 years, I just was floating in the air in Europe. And in 2012, I relocated. And I relocated as the country director of Right to Play in Ghana. And my desire was to come back home, to also give something back to society. And I thought there were a lot of opportunities which I had, and I thought I could share some and I could give some back to Ghana. And secondly, too, I was just tired and fed up of Europe, of outside, you know. So
Europe, some of us want to go. We were fed up.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, it's relative. Yes, I know. I mean, you know what happened? Yeah, you know that when I came, yeah, I think I got back home on the 16th of March. I won't forget. Yeah, and you know, February, March, April.
Yeah.
At the hottest month as we have now, the May has come in now. And on that day when I finally left Europe and came, when I came home, the lights were off, the taps were not running. In March, the hottest season, 30, 35 degrees. I just told myself, I want to stay. You know, so the desire was there to stay. And a few weeks later, even months, I should say, when you know that episode where you will be sleeping,
Yeah.
and then you sort of wake up, half awake, half asleep, and you are confused, you don't know where you are.
Yeah.
And I had such instances, and I was telling myself, I am in Ghana. I am in Ghana. I hope I'm coming. That was how much I wanted to come. But it is also, of course, in 1992, I would have been having the opposite disposition.
Yeah.
But I just felt I wanted to come home. So I came, was the country director of Right to Play. Just a few months after, one gentleman, may his soul rest in peace, he's not even been buried now, Dr. Manoluso Ansa.
Yeah.
May his soul rest in peace. We worked sort of together with UN Sport for Development and Peace. And so the contract got broken for some years.
Okay.
And then when I was with Right to Play, one day he came, was then the director of sports at the university here, and he came wanting to do something with Right to Play. And who was that? That was Bella, that was Emmanuel. He said, no, Bella, you have to come and apply. I'm leaving, come and replace me. You are the real candidate that will really fit in. So that was when I did the application. Of course, he informed me, but I applied and went through the channel with other people, shortlisting and the rest, and finally I got the job. So that is how I came here.
But your early beginning, how would you describe it? How was your life? How did you start?
As a child?
Yes.
Yes, I was.
Where were you born and
Yes,
bred?
yes. That is another mystery, because I mean, even your crew will now open their mouth, huh? Because I'm sure in their minds and in their heads, and I'm sure even your listeners,
Even in mine?
even you, and I'm sure even your listeners, those listening now, will be thinking, yeah, but he comes from somewhere, northern Ghana, or he comes from somewhere in Nigeria. Well, they are both not correct. I come from Keta in the Volta region. That was where I was born and bred. That's my hometown. Are you surprised? I knew it.
Keta. In the
Yes,
Volta region.
yes.
That's where you were born and bred.
Absolutely. I'm a Keta boy. Very proud one. Yes. Ejibamado Pagwanao. Yes, so I was born and bred in Keta, the coast. I think I had a very nice childhood. And the time I spoke about my childhood to my wife, I used to add, to go to school footed. Even though I was a privileged boy, I came from a very privileged family at the time. And we go fishing on Saturday. Days, and you know, it's a time between the lagoon and the sea. So you went to the lagoon to get tilapia, you went to the sea, all kinds of fish, and of course used to do swimming and the rest in the sun, in on the coast. A very fantastic childhood. We used to catch crabs, we used to go fishing in the lagoon, catch tilapia, catch what we call adult shellfish, snails, and so on. Both in lagoon snail as well as even the land snail. And I went to a primary school, a school adulting up to 6, barefooted, and went to Zion, and Zion, those common entrance. I'm not sure some here know what trans was. You know, right? And I was the common and I was the best secondary in Ghana, senior high. Yes, and then it was a fantastic. And even before the secondary school, after O levels, you don't have much idea about O levels, but that was the first level. Then you go to A level. The senior system, so you'd have to do O level which was 5 years at the secondary school, and after passing, go to city. You spend 7 years before going to, after primary school, you spend 7 years before going to university or any tertiary institutions. So, so fortunate, I went to the best secondary school in the North Ghana. Ghana City. Yeah.
Ghana school.
Secondary school, that this president and best African footballers and so on and so
It
forth.
is now
Yeah. Ghana school, that isn't it?
yeah.
If you don't go to
But
school,
I was in secondary school,
you,
but I had stories about school.
oh yeah,
It's always a plus and
Yes.
a privilege to go to schools that produce the best people because you are inspired to also go through.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, I went to Ghana senior high, and then you know that was the time when the university shut, so there was a lot of backlog, you know. So we used to do 2 years in our service to give way. Yeah, so we used to do this national. So I sit from you don't straight. So there was always a vacancy for the period in 83, I think 28 or so. And to the national service A level, then you go to the, and then I was at the University of Cape. Then I did my 4 years program, and then from there, after national service, I also as a teaching assistant, and after actually our leave month was September, and I remember vividly 28 September I left the shores of Ghana to Austria to start another chapter in life. It was a very wonderful time. I had a very, very wonderful childhood. I spent my time between Accra and Keta. During school period, I used to be in Keta, and holidays I used to come to Accra. I'm a Tudu boy. I grew up in Tudu.
Oh, really?
Yes, I am a Tudu boy. There, you don't see many of the Tudu boys around or Tudu girls around growing into men and women, but I'm a very proud and living example of what Tudu can do and Tudu can produce. In fact, of course, what Keta and what Zongo boy. I'm a Zongo boy. What the Zongo boys can do, and Zongo women as well. I had a very, very brilliant childhood. I was loved. I had more friends who were older than me than friends in my group. My father was well-to-do. I was the last born of my mom, and both daddy and mommy, you know, just pampered me. And my wife often says that my mother left her a very, very huge job to do. Sometimes then I don't hear that.
Yeah. Last boss are keys of being head.
Yeah, what always getting the absolute attention, and I also learned a few things in life. There was always in that I saw, and I realized as a young, I always wanted in the academy. I always wanted to change and ask and question the status quo. Why some people had more, some people hadn't. I was getting money that some for a day which got never.
Why were you put to school?
That is it. That's why how I keep telling me that I'm saying, but that was the need at the time. Not your during our time was normal barefooted
to school barefooted.
Yeah, so it was something that.
But also,
I recall even one day I went to school with a son. We used to call it Kali. It was a wrong one, and I was more. Actually, they made fun of me. I was cold, you know. So yeah, it was something people did, something that people did, and so it was a normal convention, something, yeah. So and I had the privilege of in different situations. I am Hausa, a Muslim, have grown up in Kenya, predominantly Jew and Christian, Christian religious communities. I'm a Muslim. I want to understand just tolerance, coexistence among and between different cultures, people, and I also privileged to learn traditions, drawing, other cultural artifacts, and was being also polyglot, speaking ever how my bad, my guy bit better than you, but
to the boy and your
yes. Well, yeah, I'm nearer, so maybe God would be the best. Yeah.
but
I speak Ghana, maybe 40%, 40%. If you simple, normal
so
Ghana, understand
40-50. This is your rating. I can rate you 2%.
Yeah, no. That's my rating.
They're just a people dog. Bella Bello Bitugu. I mean, what?
I'm a house. Yeah, I'm a house, right? The maternal side migrated centuries back to Nigeria, right?
I found a linkage.
Yeah, Nigeria linkage, but I don't even know what it is, and the rest is
really?
like, yeah, it's like Ghans who migrated from the old kingdom.
Yeah.
They have no idea where they come from.
Yeah.
And some say some actors, even some parts of Asia.
Yeah.
Whereas, all migrate. In Ghana, is the one debatably who originated from present day Ghana. Debatably.
Yeah.
So the migrations, my grandfather was one of them. He came to as a missionary to a town called Bondugu. It is still there in Ivory Coast, present day Ivory Coast, Bondugu.
Oh, okay.
So he studied there, and he finished his studies and then decided to go on to his missionary. So he decided to come to Ghana, or the then Gold Coast, or the then...
Yeah, Gold Coast.
Yeah, I think it wasn't even Gold Coast when he came. It was before Gold Coast or something like that. Anyway, so what happened was, after finishing, the southern belt was actually blocked.
Okay.
With the Ashanti War and so on and so forth. So he was in the north in Salaga and Bondugu.
Salaga.
Yes, Salaga here. So there is a place there, a hamlet. It used to be a town, then turned to a village, and now it's a hamlet called Bondugu. Sorry, called Bitugu. But the man came from Bondugu, but the people could not pronounce Bondugu. So they pronounced it Bitugu. So they used to say the Malam from Bitugu. The Malam from Bitugu. So the Bitugu got stuck. So that is where my surname came from, the father of my father. But he was Mr. Ibrahim, Mala Ibrahim. Okay. Bella, I'm a Hausa man, a Hausa Fulani. Bella simply means Koku, Kweku. Wednesday born boy, Bala Arabi. Yeah, the writing was a bit gotten wrong. Those days, I don't know, maybe not your time. Those days, in the village or in the area, they just see an older person, an adult, and they say, "Jale, take him or her to school." The guy took me to school, and at that time there was a singer in Togo called Bella Bello. She used to spell her names with one L, though. Bella Bello. Now, my father's name was Bello, a Hausa Fulani name, meaning it has been fulfilled. I'm satisfied. Okay. But the Bello is also a name shared by the Yorubas as well. They also have it. So it's Hausa Fulani and Yoruba name. So the guy took me to school and then said, Bella Bello, that's my name. Of course, my name was Bella, my father's name Bello. So he said Bella Bello, reminiscent of the popular singer, the Togolese singer, Bella Bello. Yeah, so that was, and then he spelled it with E-double-L. And also he got stuff, of course I didn't know about that. So I didn't actually care until I went to secondary school, but it was already late. It was on my certificates and the rest. So
you just stayed like that?
I just stayed like that. Instead of the A, the E has come to stay.
Okay, okay.
So
okay.
Bella is Wednesday, born boy Bello. It's been fulfill my father's name, Bitugu, the surname.
How did you get yourself from your early days into switching into sports, where a chunk of the things that many of us know you for is the things you've done with FIFA, with UEFA, with the Ghana Football Association, with many committees in this country? How did you switch into sports, or how did you get into sports?
Well, I'm proud to be a member of these fraternities you are talking about. There is a committee I'm a member of, which I thought I keep asking myself, why did I even join this committee? Why did
That's the point. Why did you join them?
No, we will leave that to history. That particular, we will leave it to history. I don't want it to be there, but if there is anything that I may bite and say why, it's been a member of that particular committee. But it's an experience in life.
Is it the committee that I know?
I won't. Well, you certainly know if I mentioned any, but no. But I've not mentioned any committee.
Is it the committee that I know? Because you're on so many committees.
Yes.
And I know you serve as a member of the GFA Appeals Committee.
Right.
Is it that
No,
one?
no. Don't pull me
Is it that one?
No. It is.
Okay, so Doug.
No.
Which institution have you been part of each committee that you feel that it was? Why did I join this committee?
Please edit that part of the video.
It's a question.
No.
Which
maybe later in the course of the conversation,
which
I'll let
committee?
you know. Now you are like a journalist.
Okay, let's have a conversation then. Tell me about your story of getting into sports.
Yeah. It's a very interesting question which I have to answer every time, and which I have to refer to my members of staff, which I have to refer to, which I refer my staff, my students, etc. to, and always mention that I actually did social sciences.
Yes.
Then veered into educational sciences. Yes.
CV, I realized that most of the things you did were social science.
Yes, social and educational sciences. And that is what I also did, educational sciences too, for my master's program in Austria. And late 1990, an organization was formed to fight racism in Europe.
Yes.
Interestingly, I was the first black referee in the federal state where I was studying, that they call Tyrol.
Okay.
Tyrol in Western Austria. The capital is Innsbruck. And I was the first and only black football referee in that federal state. So, and part of my specialization in my studies was also all forms of discrimination, anti-racism, and the rest. So with my experience as the first black referee, with my background specialization in anti-discrimination, all forms of discrimination, and with my interest in, if you like, social justice, this colleague of mine, friend of mine called Court Vacta, together with another friend, Mikhail Fanizadeh, established an NGO called Fair Play, which still exists, to fight racism in Austria. And in a short period, they established Football Against Racism Europe in 1999, and I was coordinating European activities. So I entered sports through fighting different forms of discrimination, homophobia, racism, etc. in sports, just to make sport accessible to everybody, for all to enjoy sports and to have access and the opportunity to patronize and participate in sports. Man, woman, boy, girl, atheist, Christian, Muslim, Jew, rich, poor, black, white, African, Asian, all forms of discrimination to be eradicated in sport. That was my intention, and that was the intention of Fair Play, and later Europe-wide, which I was then coordinating. And then came 2000. Kofi Annan designed and promoted the Millennium Development Goals. Yeah. And part of my area of concentration in my program, by then I had then started my PhD, was development studies. So the Millennium Development Goals came around the year 2000, and it so happened that the opportunities just existed. I was part of the minority fighting all forms of discrimination in sports, football for that matter, starting an area in development studies, and then Millennium Development came on development, especially in the world, but especially in the global south. And that is the part that brought me into it, that sport is a tool that can be used to achieve the Millennium Development Goals. So the gates just opened. UN, European Union, Austria, Africa, and it was just moving, moving. And I then was moving into sport for development, sport against all forms of discrimination, and then at all the levels. I acted as the coordinator of the program in Europe. I acted as the Ghana fan ambassador to the 2006 World Cup in Germany.
In Germany. Some of the UEFA Euros as well.
Yes, and I got a prize on behalf of the fans after the 2006 World Cup. Then 2008, I was a fan coordinator for when Austria and Switzerland hosted the Europe UEFA Championship. I was in charge of Innsbruck in Austria, and then
2010 World Cup.
2008 also the Cannes. I came here and did something with the World Bank and the SOS Mangmana foundation actually.
Football has sold you to the world.
Sports actually. Football started it, and then the rest followed. And then 2010, I was the one in charge of 6 European countries and 5 African countries, Kenako, where
I remember Kenako.
Yeah, Kenako. That's right. So I was the one coordinating that in Europe, in many parts of Europe, in certain countries, and also in Africa. And just to draw a bridge between Africa and Europe, and for which I also got the prize in Innsbruck. Then in Austria, I got the Volt prize, the highest prize in Austria for our work. So it just was moving, was opening. That so I was reducing my teaching. I had taken up teaching and investing in Austria. So I started reducing because I really had doing work on the field, because I had the opportunity to do academic work and do work practically. And I started what we autodidact, something that I taught myself in all kinds of seminars. Earlier on talking about my so the workshop seminars, the conferences. That's how I developed myself, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Describe the journey.
Maybe 5 years now, 26 years.
Has it been worth it?
Absolutely. When I came back to Ghana, being where I am now, 10 years plus, and realized what could be. Keep telling people at the moment where I think I've only been able to give out maybe 50% what I can give to Ghana. It's a lot that I've been able to give, maybe because it's in the process, because of us Ghanaians, because of us human beings, and because of some structural issues. But
how do we get even just 80% of
80?
How do we get you to give?
Well, I think first of all, structure. The structure. We move away from doing the same. We should be open to new things. We should be open to. There is a time for investment. There is a time for reaping. We should also be suspend instant gratification. We should go to silent and patient investment, to structure processes, ideas, strategies. We should work concepts, we should work with ideas, not how it is done. We do it this way, yeah, we say every time. Anything you do for 3 years, so that's if you're not doing the same for 3 years, sorry, something is not very accurate over the move. That is another. One aspect is sometimes we confuse physical education and sports, and we need to get that dichotomy. Another thing is to that sports is being run, or everybody thinks he or she can run sports. Once I have a general knowledge, I can apply it anywhere in sports, which is, and that is one of the reasons why we are in difficulty and are not able to take up things that we can take up, making progress to the extent that we would make, because a techno trained in anything thinks I can put sports and I can no. In as much as I believe that sports is an area where you hardly find the parent body, so there is really no, 85 to 95% of the teams doing sport do not have their parents' body in sports. They have parent bodies elsewhere. If you want to become a sports lawyer, you need to do sports, you need to do law first. If you want to be a sports sociologist, if you want to be a sports psychologist, if you want to be whatever, you need to read the psychology, the sociology, the law, the finance, the banking, the medicine, before you specialize in sports in that area. That we agree, that I agree, that happens. But you need to have that basis and also have a transition into sports and understand the ecosystem of sport. You don't just have that knowledge and think that is all. You can do it because you have that knowledge. And I think that is one of our problems, that we should understand that sports has its expertise, has its arena, even if it does not have its parent body in there. Coming into it, you need to also study the ecosystem before you can apply and transfer that parent body in there. So my educational sciences, my sociology background have helped me to look at sports from various angles and different perspectives. So another thing that we think we can do to get 80 or 90% of maybe Bella is or many others is also our mindset. Our mindset, you know, that this is this is the way we do things. This is the way we do things. This is how it is. This is that. Don't bring those two no things. As you know, those are the things. So if we can reduce these things, and we can see sports as a business, we can see sports as an investment, we can see sports as something outside the classroom, we can see sports as not only within the domain of the government, not only a national government, not only a central administration thing, that we can see sports not only competition, but sports that is competition as well as recreational and can be used as a tool to instrumentalize the qualities of the institution called sports. I think those are the things that we can do to get more from people who come and would want to give a little bit more.
Listening to you earlier, I deduced that we probably have lots of round pegs, square pegs in round holes. Is that what it means? Where people believe that because they have a certain general knowledge about sports, they think that is how it is done, instead of having a specific understanding of specific areas to manage the sport.
Oh, that is absolutely correct. I'm not sure it is only in sports, but it is very, very pronounced in sports, because it's like everybody thinks I can come into sports and I can run sports, which is not the case.
I have my money.
Yes, I have the money. I have the money. I can run it. I have this. I can run. I have the power. I've been appointed, nominated. I've been assigned, or the nature of my job, I've been transferred to a particular unit, a particular section, a particular outfit. So I can run sports. No, that is a problem in our.
Let's come back to the university. Since assuming office, I would go before I come back to the university. You mentioned earlier about the organization you've worked with. Which organization had fun working for? Which one has been quite challenging?
For
Quite a difficult question.
that's a thought. Oh, actually, if you an organization, you will call University of Ghana organization. I will say University of Ghana is what had the most. University of Ghana have had the most fulfillment. University of Ghana is where dream came. University of Ghana is where I got the opportunity, where I have given the access, where I have been given the support, given the push to do it, where I've been given the pushing to swim, not a well, not a river, not a lake, but been given the pushing, swim in. We trust you, we believe in you. And of course, I have never worked in Ghana. I came to, I relocated, and I just had a 1 year spell with an organization, basically a Canadian organization. So it's like still global. Then I came, then all of a sudden I came to an academic institution. So you can imagine the shock, the new things I came across. But fortunately, and I think very, very lucky person generally, and I'm very grateful to my Allah. I think I'm a lucky person, a blessed one. I've always come across people, circumstances that took me. I came across some senior members of the university, from senior managers to administrators, who supported me without condition, and me, I often say, protected me, guided me as well, and of course family. And so the University of Ghana is a place of, was the place where I was and had the opportunity also to be teaching and doing this work and to bring the change. Remember, I came in 2013. The directorate was established started operating in 2009.
Yeah.
So it was a young one. A lot of these things happen. I've not been a lot. Were not there. See documents. There were different documents, but there were, composite documents, etc. So he gave me the opportunity to bring some of these thoughts and ideas. And if it were not G, I would have said I would to give only 20%.
What makes University of your organizations that you've said being very fulfilling to you?
Because there is, first of all, if you understand the university system, this is a directorate, so you have a certain degree of autonomy.
Autonomy, yes.
So you have your budget, you have your staff, then you have your program. And in between, you can always bring some innovations. And there are structures that enhance and facilitate progress. You have sports management committee, you have the sports advisory board, the student sports fraternity also, they have an association, University of Ghana Sports Council, University of Ghana Student Sports Council, and we also have a lot of committees on campus working within the fraternity of sports and supporting this. And our directorate is one directorate which works with almost every unit. In fact, every unit in the university, is it finance, is it estate, is it academic, is it career and counseling, is it finance, is this HR, has all this in S and student. So the structures are there to support, and the statutes are very clear and explicit on the role and responsibilities of sports and the directorate as well. and it appears that the opportunity is there, make something out of it. The support of senior management, and most of all, the central value of the university of integrating sport into its academic curriculum. These all combine to really make the work interesting, and the work enhancing, the work motivating, the work encouraging, and for you to explore, and you have a relatively free hand to do the work. I think these are a combination of factors where I really had a lot of fun. I really hope you are not coming to the opposite one.
I'm going for a challenge, of course. About 11 years here, what has been the major challenges that you've encountered?
Well, the major challenge is the red tape. The red tape and bureaucracy. You know, every system has its way of doing this. It's a public outfit. You operate within the public law, the public processes and procedure. Sometimes they stifle fast movement, not only in University of Ghana, generally the issue with public outfits. That is one major issue. Another major issue, I think it's a self-inflicted one within the sports fraternity. University of Ghana is always the university to beat. Some people will come to tournaments and competitions just looking up to, you know, beating UG. Once they've beaten UG, it's like they've won the competition. Yeah, so it becomes even more difficult to become the best. But then it is also a push and a motivation. Not really a problem, but you realize that sometimes the issues are trivial, sometimes infantile, sometimes against progress, simply because it is University of Ghana. And I think that is really something that one has lived with and continues to live with, and you ask yourself. And then in the final analysis, they will come back again seeking guidance, seeking support, seeking direction, seeking support, and seeking pace from the University of Ghana. So and sometimes it's quite disturbing and discouraging, but one never gave up and one never left it.
At what point did you get to the Ghana Football Association to serve as a member of one of their committees? Because I do recall vividly 2016, 2017, or 2017, 2018, when you were on one of their, was it appeal committee?
Yes, yes, I'm still a member.
That I know.
Yes, I'm a member of the Ghana Appeals Committee.
At what point did you get?
That was, I think, 2017. 2017, just a year or two before the normalization committee came in. And it was an interesting story, you know.
Tell me.
You know, that was the case with...
Great Olympics?
No! Tema Youth. You recall that case where they were pushed and
the one that went to CAS?
Yes.
Welcome.
It was...
tell me what happened.
It was the CAS case that went to the appeals committee. You recall when Tema Youth lost the case, they took it to CAS. CAS wrote back that it is very obvious. I mean, they fell short of saying it is obvious that something has to be done on this case, blah, 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 and so ordered that the FA must
hear the case again.
Must hear the case again, but this time with different people.
Different body.
I was there one day, then I got a call that ABCD, so I'm being asked.
Who called you?
That was during the time of President Nyantechi.
Yeah.
I think his spokesperson, yes, I think it was his spokesperson, Sani Dara.
Okay.
Mr. Alhaji Sani Dara. I think it was, yes, it was one of his spokespersons who called me. And I said, oh, okay, well, then they said, am I ready to speak with the president? I said, yeah. So I spoke with the president, and then when I got to know what it was, I said, yes, I would do. So we were there, and then the normalization committee came and then went, and I've been appointed again, and I'm still a member.
But that very case, that Tema Youth Dreams FC case, when you people came and took over, it ended with sanctions where a player was banned, some officials who were banned for 5 years and all that.
Some clubs demoted.
Some clubs demoted and all that. What did you find different from what the disciplinary committee decided earlier?
Well, to be very honest, I'm not going to talk against any branch or any outfit or any structure and what, but I think what I would say is that was a very, very tough case. And you know, I am happy that I wasn't too old in the system at the time. And I'm happy, or I was happy that at that time I got like-minded people on the committee, not ready for any external influence. One of the members of the committee at the time is the current special prosecutor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OSP.
Yeah, OSP. Yeah, OSP.
I know.
And no, not the office, but the person, the special prosecutor himself.
Yes,
that's right. I worked with him. A very nice, kind.
Was Governor Dami also part of that committee?
No,
because I remember.
Committee.
Okay.
I don't remember that, okay. but clearly, and it was very revealing, and I felt that perhaps something did not happen which should have happened for the case to be determined. We went really to a very, very large extent to handle that. Oh yeah, to handle that case. And when we passed the judgment, I had people telling me, why did you pass that judgment? It's already gone. Why do you demote? Why do you this? Why do you that? And I said, you are a lover of. When there are some people who say, we know Ghana football, and we are the owners of Ghana football. Why did you rule like that? And I asked them, really, if you are an owner, then your action is actually tantamount to saying you are disowning football in Ghana. But
so some people were not happy.
No, absolutely. The people were not happy, not because the case was unfairly determined, but because they thought, why are you disturbing the status quo? Why do you do that? Why don't you just leave it as it was at the time? You know. And they said, yes, okay, you are right, and the rest, but why do you do that?
Are they investors in football?
I tell you, big people in football, in sports, yes. I can tell you.
That this clearly suggests that this, like you mentioned, they are enemies to the game of football.
Yes, some of us are the enemy of football and the enemy of sports in the country, unfortunately, but you find them everywhere. You find us everywhere. We are human beings, aren't we?
Do we still encounter same challenge even now?
With some rulings?
Yeah.
No. That was really the biggest one, but that was a big one, wasn't it? It was a huge
to demote a club that brought loads of attention to the Ghana Premier League.
It was
a huge case.
It was a huge one. But we had some very big cases involving big people, big clubs, the Haas, the Kotokos, the Mighty Jets, the Cheetahs.
The Olympics. I remember going to Olympics. I remember that day we were there to launch the Ghana Premier League. Yes. When you came up with your fires.
Yeah, Olympics. There was the Olympics, yes, and a lot of cases and you know, Black Stars coach, you know, some coaches, the case with the Kotoko coach, the Black Star coach, so there have been some.
Maxwell Konedu?
There was no Maxwell Konedu. Give me this former Black Stars player. Give me the name. Oh, the former Black Stars player who coached Kotoko.
That's Siki Akuno?
Yes, Siki Akuno. Yeah, that's right. He had an issue with Kotoko, didn't he? Yes.
I remember when he was fired.
Yeah. But coach, you are always fired. It's part of your. But the firing is not the issue, but the handling.
Yeah, the handling.
Yeah. So some big cases came under us, and another very tough one was during the last election, where some candidates had
yes.
But otherwise, it's been okay.
But it is a case that is in CAS.
Yeah.
CAS will release a verdict.
Yeah.
This month.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether if you have permission to say this here.
No, I wouldn't like to talk about it. I wouldn't like. You are only asking me about my work, and I'm talking about my work.
It is your work.
Yes.
But what clearly influenced that decision that said that George Afriyie did not meet the requirements to contest for the position of president, considering the fact that there was a similar thing in 2019 where a candidate was made to fix a challenge that candidate had, but George Afriyie was not given that room.
No, and you expect me to answer this question. Clearly, I won't and I cannot answer this question. I'm a member of a committee which has ruled, and I stand by the ruling. We have and had our reasons. If another authority or jurisdiction finds it different or whatever, but what I want to tell you is 98% of the cases we ruled on passed, even when they went to CAS. Is it the case of the only one where I said we ruled and it was partly taken and partly rejected was the one with the case with
is it the players?
The players.
Fifth Pro?
Sorry?
Is it Fifth Pro?
No, not Fifth Pro. No, not Fifth Pro. The one Inter-Allies.
Okay.
Inter-Allies Goldfields and the rest, where the players were also sanctioned, and then CAS came and said no, the players should be.
Fifth Pro. That's Fifth Pro.
Okay, Fifth Pro took the case up. Yeah, okay, all right, I get you. Fifth Pro put the case up. Yeah, yes, but it was something that we say, okay, was partly accepted and partly not. But apart from that, all the cases we ruled, which were taken to CAS, came back upheld.
Okay, so this clearly suggests that, or you believe that 98% chance that George Afriyie's quest to have CAS overturned your appeals committee's decision. There's 98% chance that it will not be successful.
No, I'm not making that inference. No. Don't make that correlation. I won't agree to that correlation. Don't put me in now.
Okay. But earlier you had mentioned something quite.
No, what I said was 98% of the case we handled and which were taken to CAS came back upheld and in support of what we. I did not say, for that matter, any case that we blah 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 would be. And I made.
No, in fact, I'm even going back to an earlier conversation that we had, where you said you don't know whether it was worth it finding yourself in that committee.
No, I said a particular committee. You know, I'm a member of so many committees.
Yeah, so why aren't you happy with that committee? Or why are you questioning what influenced your decision to be part of that committee?
Well, I was sent or pulled into that committee, but I think, and I agreed to go in there, and later I realized maybe I should not have even started. But I think no, it's not with the appeal. I'm a proud member of the appeal, and I'll say it everywhere. But I think let's leave that committee one. It's a little bit personal too.
A little bit personal too.
Yeah, because why I say personal is I have had so many thoughts as to why and how, and I felt.
Have you walked out of that committee?
No, I've not.
Then why haven't you walked out if you feel that it doesn't meet the principles of...
No, I didn't say it doesn't meet the principles. I didn't say that don't behave like a journalist.
If you question your decision to even
I didn't question. I didn't question that. What I'm saying is, The only regret I have is that there is a particular committee I've joined. That's all I said, and for whatever reason, I would leave that to.
So, if you regret joining and you have the opportunity to walk out, why not walk out?
No. Regretting to be somewhere is not the same as walking out. Yeah. If you have your finger in the soup, you need to finish it. If you have it in the mouth, then finish the cake. Maybe that could be another explanation, not necessarily. But what I'm saying is, if the clock would have gone back, then I wouldn't be a member. I wouldn't join. If the clock would have been taken
so
back, if I would have seen what I saw, maybe I wouldn't have joined.
Is it one of those committees? Let me quote the Public Accounts Committee chairman, where he said that one institution is he said it's rotten. Is the committee you're part of? Is it a rotten committee?
Oh no, I won't go that far. Oh, come on, no, I won't go that far. No, I won't go that. I think that would be very unfair. What I would say is, I know you are trying to get it out of me, but you know, you might have gone to a place. You might have even gone into a relationship with somebody. You might have tasted something, you might have eaten something, you might have undertaken, you might have even gone for a visit for on holidays to a particular place, and the rest, you know, everything was good, but maybe the airline, the this, or that I was in a relationship with this or that person, or that I did this or I've done that. These are sentiments, and sometimes difficult to explain, sometimes also not. But I'm saying that this is one of the things. I've come to Ghana, fantastic. I'm very happy. No regrets. I've worked here and I continue to work here. The only regret is maybe I've been a member of a particular committee, which today, if in retrospect, I wouldn't have joined. But it's part of the journey of life. And you still want to know which committee, this and that. Can we move on?
Okay, we are moving on, and we are signing out the conversation stuff. African Games 2023, this very venue, we were all here. We saw massive turnout for the competition. Finally, the facility is ready and can host standard competitions accepted by World Athletics, accepted by FIFA, accepted by many bodies. Just how proud are you that we finally saw this through?
Extremely proud, very happy. I feel fulfilled. Let me tell you, 10-11 years ago, when I went for the interview, among others, I was asked, what of the stadium? I said, I will complete it. I told them, I said, I will complete it. And look here, check.
It's completed?
Yes.
You are indeed a lucky person.
Indeed, yeah, indeed. So I am very happy. I feel fulfilled. But I want to say that, you see, that dream, and that is what I've been talking to you about concerning the University of Ghana. That dream, University of Ghana has nurtured the idea of integrating sports into its academic curriculum. And it nurtured the idea of having a sports stadium. From nowhere, the ideas and the thoughts came to the public domain. The University of Ghana has met, has decided, blah, blah, blah. This place, which was very bushy, almost a forest. In fact, at that time, there wasn't even a road here. Yeah. Right? Decided to start this. Somehow, of course, it's a public outfit. So the university always nurtured that desire, that zeal to build the stadium. And they started with the support of GetFund. Of course, the University of Ghana is a public institution. So GetFund was supporting until it truncated the support in 2008. So there was a standstill. Nothing was happening. The thing was deserted. That huge beast, became a forest, you know. And there was even a time when senior management and I discussed, and we decided to close it for people who were coming to use the tracks, because it was a health hazard. And then we decided that we have to revive it. And the revival took place some 6 years ago, started. So we 6-7 years ago we started the revival, looking for money, explaining it is an integral part of University of Ghana. When to get one, start getting monies, millions of cedis. We did the seats. We did our offices. The office we are here now, the sports director office, we did it. We then created the little money we had. We said we will be doing the things in phases. So we said, let's bring the utilities and let's make it functional. Let's make the stadium functional. Water, electricity, the seats, and the inscription, all we did. And then the offices here. And then African Games came, which dovetailed into the university's concept as well. And they completed it, and very, very fantastic idea. And you see, it is not only the University of Ghana which is benefiting. That will be underestimating it. That will be playing it down. That will be maybe in a very militant language trivializing the benefit. This stadium, this facility, or these facilities are not for University of Ghana alone. Yes, they are on the campus of University of Ghana. Yes, they dovetail into the vision that was nurtured by the University of Ghana when University of Ghana started the stadium. But the benefit is to the benefit of the whole of Ghana sports, the development of Ghana sports, the development of West African sports, the development of African sports. Imagine the number of competitions that will be coming. Imagine the number of people who will be trained. Imagine the trickle down of people seeing others with this facility. Imagine the tournaments that we will host. Imagine the trickle effect where people, students, athletes will be attracted and say, hey, it is there for us. Imagine how it will promote our warm-up tracks, how people will be using it to train.
Even the local economy, people who will care to
the local
stuff.
economy, exactly. Yeah, you don't think journalism, you think also economics. Yes. You know, and honestly speaking, it is a fantastic thing. The departments will benefit, UG Sports will benefit, the economy will benefit, the environs, our community outreach will be fantastic. Yes, we are very, very grateful to the government for providing the funds to complete it. And it is a government outfit. And I know that a lot of people will be limiting the benefit and say UG. No, it is Ghana, it is African sport, it is humanity, it is for all of us, it's for the youth, it's for the future and generations yet unborn. This can be built upon.
Has it been handed over officially to the...
We are in the process of handing over, but what I can tell you is the University of Ghana started so many months ago to design a sustainability concept. And the first round has been completed. The second round has just been completed. So the concept is set in terms of how to sustain the facility, how to maintain. And you know, one of the major issues we have in Ghana is maintenance. Not only sporting facilities, in fact, in the literature, they keep talking about sporting facilities and public facilities, but even private ones. We build homes, we get rooms. After some years, we don't maintain. We have the same thing every time.
You see cobwebs.
Oh no, cobwebs. You see cobwebs, but there is no cobwebs. You see cobwebs. No, but cobwebs is even okay. It's fine. But you know, there are physical deterioration. And you look at the 2018-2019 Auditor General's report about our sporting facilities, Accra, Asipong, Tamale, Kumasi, and the rest, and the difficulties we're having to get them even certified for FIFA and CAF championships and the rest. And so we are very conscious of it. And let me tell you one thing, proven, empirically ascertained and manifested in literature, etc., that in this part of the world especially, but generally, right, sporting facilities are best maintained when they are in educational institutions. And that is why the University of Ghana is going to prove to the whole world, especially Ghanaians, the University of Ghana is able and capable, knows the difficulties and has the wherewithal to get this stadium to a level where we say yes, excellent maintenance and sustainability, and there is a concept that has been prepared, and I believe that in a few years we'll look back and say fantastic, the best decision ever.
2 questions. The athletes University of Ghana has been able to produce, I always look at them and I go like massive. I saw Cadman here flying 2.23 meters, a product of this very school.
Indeed.
I saw Azamati 2019, 2020, when he was a local athlete. I remember the Gusa Games here. He went to the African gold medal, currently the 100 meters record holder. What is that special thing that the University of Ghana is doing in terms of their sport to be able to produce athletes of this ilk?
Yeah, you see, if you ask me, I put this response down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words: silent and patient investment, delayed gratification. First of all, what we did and what we continue to do is, and I was telling you earlier on about designing and conceptualization of policies. If the policies are there, if the strategies are there, you just need to implement them. If you have a good implementing team, fantastic. The sky is the beginning. That's one. We designed University of Ghana policy on the admission of athlete students. You are aware that by University of Ghana is highly, extremely oversubscribed. Yeah. By the time you get to aggregate 15, 16, 17, 18, the admissions doors start shutting. But then we said, yeah, the student athletes, they spend a lot of time away from the classroom and they have double talents, academia and sports. Let's support them. So we designed a policy that comes with the basic minimum. If you are a talented person, we will admit you. A year after, we designed the University of Ghana Sport Fund, the one and only type in the whole of Ghana for now in any public university. Supporting them. And you know, ironically, the ironies of life, you know, the best brains, the most talented persons, they are the ones who do not have the material wealth to see themselves through. So the talented athlete is the one who may not be able to pay his or her school fees and the rest. So we said, let us complement this policy of admission by paying, giving some scholarship, bursary, etc. And so that these have supported us, and it has been an extreme success. Students who would otherwise not have been able to make it at the University of Ghana have come, have studied, and have completed. Students have been empowered because we don't only admit them, we admit them and design a process for them. They have mentors who mentor them. We have
Cadman told me this one.
Exactly. Yeah, we have mentors. I have a mentor. I have mentees myself. We talk, we sit, we support the mentors. Go have a drink with your mentee. Go whatever. We give some small allowance from our budget, right? And we support them. What are your problems, difficulties with academia, with sports, and the rest? We support the extra classes and the rest. I'm happy Cadman told you this, yeah. And then we support them in that regard, and we do all year round training, and we have creme de la creme of coaches here. You can see almost all our coaches were
Is Emmanuel Bruce one of them?
Yeah, one of the best.
What do you want to be remembered for as a director of sport for the University of Ghana? If Dr. Bello finally says, I'm walking out of this door, what do you want to be remembered for?
For making sports visible, perhaps, to the university and actually for the country, and bringing sports to a different level at the university, and in a sentence, he is the one who, when running sports, thought global and acted local. That's the legacy.
He thought global, but acted local. And acting local served the interest of his people. Dr. Bello Bitugu, my guest on Prime Take. Thank you very much for your time, Doc.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Me too.